them come. This is their fate.
Let's get to this PS5 price hike. What we thinking? What we thinking about PS5? Y'all already know what I said last time, and now I have to pull back all of that. So I said PlayStation and Microsoft aren't stupid enough to do this, and they did it. So, well, not they. Microsoft and Nintendo have come out and stated that they're not going to price hike. But PlayStation, boy, did I misjudge them of how stupid they could be. So they did do a price hike. They didn't do it in the US because obvious reasons. Obvious reasons is that first, we're not the biggest market. I think we're the second biggest market. And obviously Microsoft has a big presence here. And it's probably the most competitive place. So they would not want to do that. I think everywhere else, Microsoft isn't that big, so they don't care. But I think that was the only reason to stop them from price hiking here. But you know what they are already doing, right? You only can buy the Horizon bundle. So it's not like they lose it. You know what I'm saying? They said, hey, G, get them discs editions, some non-disc editions, get them out of here. We gonna buy, y'all can either buy the Horizon disc, non-disc version, or like the discless one, or you can buy the Horizon disc one. That's it, and that's $550. So they technically got away with a price hike here. Y'all just ain't realized it yet. So what we thinking, guys? What's your thoughts on PS5?
Now we already know PlayStation is the best place to play. $70 remakes, $550 consoles, $120 PlayStation Plus or more.
Yeah.
I mean, if you respect yourself as a gamer, you go PlayStation.
Hey man, they really getting away. They getting away with it too. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
What they gonna do? Nobody gonna be able to do nothing. So.
Yeah, because they've been the market leader for a while, and you always expect them to raise the price or somewhere. We were worried about the, $10 game increase, but it seems like Sony is really pushing increases everywhere they can, which you probably will see other companies eventually do that as well. But it's like they're really like using they're throwing their weight around to show we can increase our price and still be the market leader in sales and things like that. And for consumer, that sucks, and you can't really say necessarily that the games will be better for it because they're getting more money, because it doesn't always equate to that. But yeah, the $50+ price hike in other regions really sucks, because one, the world financial situation is not that great, but this is a big price hike for a console that's already been very hard to get in the first place. Yeah, expensive, hard to get, and now it's getting more expensive. And it might not hurt their bottom line at all, but it's just definitely not a good look for them, especially with Microsoft and Nintendo being against that. And I think that, well, at least Microsoft took a smart approach, having the two consoles where they have the cheaper consoles, so they don't have to worry about price drops and stuff like that. And plus, they have the more expensive console, so maybe they can take a loss on it because they got the other one to make it up.
That's actually,
So they're in a good situation where even with inflation and stuff, their consoles sales might not be too impacted. But I think it's clear Sony was starting to lose a lot of money, and they don't want to lose money on the consoles. It's my bad. What I mean is they're making money, but their margin of profit or whatever is not what they want it to be. They might be taking a loss on the consoles. So this will hopefully smooth that out. But yeah, overall, like I said last time, I wish that they could present it better to the consumer, because just saying we're going to raise the price $50 for no reason, trash.
Yeah. Do we think that this is going to be a big enough impact like Xbox, you know, talking all about TV or the PlayStation 3 first reveal? Do we think it's going to be of a big of an impact as those events where they kind of lost the market for quite some time? Or do we think this is going to be something that's going to be mulled over and they're going to bounce back? What are we thinking?
I My bad, Jalen, if you want to jump in. I was just gonna say, I think these are really bad looks for PlayStation, and if Xbox was in a better place, they could capitalize on it. But I don't think that they can, so it's not gonna matter. Because people are already really into the PlayStation brand, and they're gonna buy the Last of Us remake and full price and be happy about it. And those people are always going to exist, but unless Xbox can offer up something as an alternative, like you ain't got to spend 550 to play, the best AAA game this year. You can do it on our system. It's not really gonna matter because that's the problem is PlayStation is basically unchallenged in like the AAA space.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be rolled over smoothly. I don't know. I just felt like uh, I guess PlayStation feel like they got their foot in the hole and stuff like that, so they like you said, throwing their weight around. So I think people will still continue to like support them and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just gonna be one of those things it's gonna be like a blemish in their track history, and it might manifest into something more. But yeah,
Yeah. So y'all don't think it's gonna have like no? Oh, that's interesting. I would think you guys would think the opposite because what what it does and what it signifies is that they don't care about the customer, right? They want the bottom. They want basically that they want to recuperate everything. If it's a hardship on the world, they want that the world to pay for it, not them. So it kind of deems their leadership to be company first, player second. I mean, that's
Hmm.
always been their message, but this is like blatant, right? And then the fact that everyone
Hmm.
else around them is now up in arms saying, we're not going to do that to you guys. If we're feeling it, y'all not going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I think it's more impactful from the messaging standpoint, not the price. Like the price is fine. Like that it's like $30 here, $20 there, $50 here. It's not like terrible, but what it signals is that simply if we're bleeding, we're gonna make y'all bleed. We're not gonna hold that. We're not gonna hold that on our own. Like there's an article that has come out about them making money off the 499 version of the PlayStation 5. Like the disc version, no, but the PlayStation 5 version with the disc, well, I mean the disc-less version, no. The disc version they were making profit off of before everything started to go crazy. So that signifies to me like, oh, we're losing money. Now we gotta charge y'all, and oh, we're gonna pretend to bundle this $50 game in here that don't cost us much to make, and it doesn't matter. Maybe y'all already even got the game, and y'all just want the PS5. So now we earn and recuperating that money in a different format. So I guess it's not necessarily the price hike itself, but it's all the signals that they send to the customer. The signals to me suggest that, yeah, we don't care. Like, we're going to make y'all pay $70 for the games because we don't care. We're going to make y'all pay double, or we're not going to switch over. We're not going to allow you guys to take a game that y'all bought on the PlayStation 4 and just upgrade it on the PS5 because we don't care. We're not going to allow you to use your peripherals from your previous versions of the system because we don't care. We know that it all works. We know that it hooks up. We just don't care. We're not going to let y'all do that. So what we want y'all to do is we want y'all to go spend extra money, and we want y'all to go do these things. So all of these small signals add up to basically what this is. And this is a continuation of blatant disrespect to the customer. So I felt like no, it's not. Like, in the scheme of things, this isn't the biggest of deals, but overall, collectively, have what they have done this entire generation. This is now their Xbox TV. This is, in my opinion, like, this is now their Xbox TV situation. This is now their PS. This is them solidifying that they're going to lose the majority. And do y'all agree or no?
I think that they could eventually. Like I said, I think these are very bad PR showings for Sony, and in a normal situation, like this will be a time for Microsoft to capitalize and really show this is the better system, this is a better ecosystem. Unfortunately, like this year, I'll just speak for like only this year or even the next 12 months. Microsoft doesn't have anything to capitalize off that for, because right now, how to put it, PS5s have been selling out. Maybe you can get one now easily, but they're still always going to sell out. Like they're guaranteed to sell out no matter how much Sony makes. And the reason why is because people, regardless of how Sony the company is, what they're putting out is
what people
you can't get anywhere else. And like what you're saying is that even with the price hike, I never see a situation where people are going to say like, oh, actually, I'm not going to buy God of War Ragnarok because Sony is anti-consumer. Like, I don't, like, even if they are, people are not going to skip over that game because it's God of War Ragnarok. And unfortunately, Microsoft doesn't have that situation. Like in the past, when Microsoft was like, TV, sports TV, Microsoft, they also didn't have, like, they had new IPs. They were okay, but like the problem was that those games were not the best games. Like Rise, Son of Rome was like mediocre. If Rise, Son of Rome was a 10 out of 10 game, then guarantee people would have eventually went back and bought their Xboxes. But like Microsoft was not putting out 10 out of 10 games, where Sony usually is close, like 9, 10 out of 10 games all the time. And that's what, unfortunately, people care about. Because I would say like the last few years, even probably at the end of the Xbox One, Microsoft is always putting out the better product or ecosystem, but they just don't have the games to like back it up.
No, I agree there. I mean, there's killer apps and then there's not killer apps, and then there's things that you just have to kind of solidify yourself as the secondary option. They're never going to be able to match the quality of those games, even if they were to make games of that same stature or type of gameplay. It's never going to be a substitute for God of War. It's never going to be a substitute for Ratchet and Clank. There's never going to be a substitute for a Spider-Man game. So I get what you're saying there, but these games are more and more of these games are now becoming PC adjacent. So as long as people are comfortable waiting, this could be their new option to get into the next generation of gaming console wise. And that could be what they do. Now, if Xbox had that killer app yesterday, like a really strong showing from Xbox that people were excited about, like they lost that with Starfield. Like, it was supposed to be that, but it's not anymore. So, there has to be something that they could show or provide that really allows them to kind of take it to the next level. But, and again, I agree with you. I agree that there's no way to replace those apps and those games. So it could be a situation where it's just like through under the rug. Everybody has a bad taste in their mouth, but they still at the end of the day go out and buy the console. Like I did, and I never liked the PlayStation from the previous generation. I feel like they were doing weird stuff by the end of it, and they kept doing like console exclusive stuff, and they would force people not to be able to do cross save. And I hated everything they did about everything, really. And I still went ahead and moved over to the new console, and really, I had the mindset of I'm not going to play any game that I want to start and like continue to play throughout my lifetime or whatever the case may be on this console. And the only thing that's stuck there now is Apex because I started it there. So, and that's kind of how I want to go about it moving forward because I know who they are. So the idea behind people now realizing how, crappy they can be, maybe that is the next person's opinion, or maybe because it's more expensive when it goes to market that now people are, feel like, well, maybe we should just get him this one because all he plays is Fortnite anyway, or all she plays is Fortnite anyway, and they want a newer console. Maybe this is the one they want to provide. But maybe again, you can't replace those games. You can't replace them. So it's just, getting the market of people that may not care enough to kind of play them now, or maybe they'll play them down the line, and this is their console for the time being. Because people, it feels like that for us, but it's not for everyone. Like, people have to make decisions based off what they can afford and what they can really, what is available. So, we have the luxury of not being able to do that anymore because we're not like college, we're not in high school, we don't need to deal with any of that. We make enough money to go out and do those things. So we are looking at it from a standpoint of, well, maybe we want to buy both, but some people just have to, pick the one that's available, maybe even cheaper. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I think,
like you said,
it might be a little bit more impactful than what you guys are giving it, but I agree with you a lot what you're saying about the games.
Yeah, it could be. It's just, of course, too early to tell. But for me, for sure, any Sony games coming out, I'm thinking of like getting them on PC, just because like I would rather just play it on PC instead of spending all the money to get the console, in which all I'm going to play on it is Sony exclusive games. So it's no point for me right now.
Sony new scalpers. They just wanted that extra money, man. They saw everybody eating off of it. They saw,
What about you, Jalen?
Scalpers,
you got your Last of Us this week?
Did it come out this week?
$70 remake. I think it come out this week. It might come out like Thursday or something.
You getting that Last of Us?
But that game. It's on that show. That's the last podcast. Last of Us out, bro.
Last of Us out? Yeah, well, they ain't done it. They ain't ready to put it to rest, man. They ain't ready to lay it down and put that casket down. They still digging that man up. So we will have another Last of Us.
I should just do a smoke break, but it ain't even get one of them.
You got the HBO Max coming. They don't get no breaks, man. What you mean? They don't get no breaks.
They ain't take a break with Uncharted. They put out 5 games in like in a generation and a half.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
Bro, just give them a smoke break.
Bro,
yeah, but we got 3 different Uncharted games. We didn't get the same game.
What do you think Naughty Dog working on?
They came out with one game, bro. That game been living rent-free in my head for 10 years. Why?
But they came out with Last of Us Part 2, like, last generation. So...
Man, that was last generation / this generation. They came out there like a year ago. Was it a year and a half?
Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020.
It was like the end of 2020. Like October or something, right?
This game came out in 2020, June 2020.
June 2020. And the other Last of Us came out something 2012, like middle of 2012. I think it was like August or something like that.
Yeah.
They came out with one game over the span of 8 years, and that mug, I keep seeing that game, bro. Like, why can't I escape that game?
Man, listen.
Man, all I'm saying is that game deserves a smoke break, man.
I'm not saying it don't. What I'm saying is...
and they smoking crack if they think somebody finna pay $70 for the same game.
But they gotta get their fresh coat of paint. Yeah, this game came out in 2014, so it was quite a bit of time.
What came out 2014? Last of Us the remake?
Oh, this
not
is
the remake, the remastered.
Where's the original?
Yeah.
They came out in 2013. Oh
No,
man.
that came on 2012, bro. It had to be 2012 because that's when I was playing it.
It say June
Let me see,
14th of
man.
2013. Um, Let me see. Initial release date PS3. It just keeps showing me The Last of
I
Us
guess it did come
remastered.
out 2013.
Yeah, it said June
Let's see.
14th of 2013.
Man, I could have sworn I wasn't playing. I swore I was working. Maybe I was. I don't know. Because I had a PS3 back in 2012, and this was one of the first games I got.
So this
So,
game came out like at the tail end of PlayStation 3 era, and then they remastered it and put it on the PS4, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think so.
And then they remastered it again and put it on the PS5, right?
Yeah, it's the third
Yeah.
version.
And then this is the remake. This is the rematch. Yeah, man. Yeah, so.
Well, hold on, man. Wait. PlayStation Warrior. I'm going. Y'all need another Last of Us. Hold on. We got one of them coming up too.
Yeah,
PlayStation 6. You know they finna have the Last of Us on there too.
listen, uh, Sony has been very much so. They have been milking their games for the longest, and we all know this. But we also know that they put out good games. So what can you complain about? Like, I can't
They
complain.
want
All I
more
can
money
say is
for
I'm
this
not
game.
gonna buy it.
They want
Yeah.
more money for this game. The Last of Us remastered, that price, they would not drop the price of that game. I'm like, just drop it, bro. Just drop the price. Maybe I get it. They're like, nah, bro, top dollar. And then we just keep getting more Last of Us stuff through the years and stuff like that. Like I can't go a year without hearing The Last of Us, man. That's just
Yeah.
my grapes. I mean, y'all ain't gotta have them same grapes or whatever.
Yeah.
I just appreciate Uncharted a little bit more because they came out with more games and then they would sit Uncharted down. Like it ain't, I don't feel like Uncharted been pushed in my face as much as one game.
Yeah. Well, Naughty Dog been working, bro. They've been working. Like they had to put out collections. Like I see a release like every year. They had Uncharted Lost Legacy in 2017. They did the 2014 Left Behind for the DLC for Last of Us, and then they did. Yeah, they've been working, bro. 2016 was Uncharted 4. Yeah. So these jokers been working, bro. What you want them to do, man? They the highest paid. They probably the highest paid company at the studio at that place anyway.
Man, I ain't knocking that money. Keep making Last of Us. If people want it, that's cool. I'm not people.
I'm not people. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You can't even be. I can.
Jalen said he want more Jack and Dexter.
Yeah, bro, give it a Jack and Dexter or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give me a different IP or something like that. Like,
didn't Naughty Dog make Crash? Yeah, right.
Like the first three.
The first three. They
Make the
didn't make
first
the
three.
last ones, right? They didn't make the last couple ones that came up. But yeah, man.
Heck no.
Naughty Dog is definitely their highest paid studio for sure. But
look, Uncharted came out with the first one 2007, and Uncharted 4 came out in 2016. You know how much Last of Us gave us in that time frame? One game where they keep reselling it, they keep marketing something crazy. Like, stop it.
But that is their. I'm pretty sure Last of Us is more. Which one y'all think more? Which one is more successful? No, which one more successful though? Which one more successful though? Is it Last of Us or is it Uncharted?
Uncharted. Didn't Uncharted get a 10 on IGN?
Uncharted 2 or 3, I think. Or maybe 4, yeah.
I think they got a 10 on. I think 4 got a 9. I remember seeing something says divisive. And I think 10 got a 10. I mean, not 10, 3 got a 10.
I said more successful. I ain't say which one was better.
No, I was just trying to
It's obviously Uncharted because Uncharted has been like their top seller for multiple generations, and they just had their movie. Whereas like The Last of Us, they've only had one game. and they're just
One
now getting
game.
around to their TV show, and their second game came out, but I don't know how successful it was compared to like the first one. But like overall, Uncharted has been like around for a while and been on top.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah,
Which game have I enjoyed more? I say Uncharted.
I've
I don't know which
enjoyed Uncharted
one is
more as
overall
well.
more successful.
I have enjoyed Uncharted story and characters more as well. Obviously, there's only two characters in Last of Us, and like, well, not there's just two characters that you care about, like Ellie and Joel. Like
Er,
everybody else was filler to me, and it's
Bro,
not
the
like they
game
were a big
literally
deal.
goes. You meet up with a person, y'all think y'all finna be cool. They help y'all out, then y'all part ways, and then you do the same thing, and then y'all part ways. Like
Josh already broke
and
it
then
down.
at the
It's a
end,
very generic story.
I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse game, bro. What is it? Walking Dead? Like
Yeah, Josh
they
already broke it
give you the
down.
setting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I'm like,
already
bro,
said it. But yeah,
it
man.
ain't enough clickers in the game. Like I'm tired of running into armored dudes. Like I did that in Uncharted, bro. I don't need y'all to do the same thing.
But did you think it was fun when you first played it?
Yeah, but I got to about when the black dude shot himself, I was like, man, this game kind of getting pointless, bro. And I just started playing it for sure at that point. I'm like, bro, how y'all gonna kill the brother, man? I'm like, bro, that hurt. I'm like, man, that hurt, dog.
Man, the writing was good though. The writing was good. At least the stories that they were telling in this generic world or generic story was okay. I mean, they got you through the
I'm
game.
not. Yeah, I'm not saying it was like horrible, like writing or nothing like that. The game was good for what it was, but do it deserve to be like what they doing with this mug? Like, I'm like, bro, like,
So the original topic was the PS5 price hike, and obviously you don't even like them price hiking on this Last of Us. So I'm assuming you do not enjoy the PS5 price hike either.
nah, you don't either, do you?
Nah, I hate it. I hate it. And
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
but
dumb.
I
Like
don't. I mean,
$70, bro.
the thing is, the thing with your gripe with Last of Us is that simply they're not doing enough to resell that game in
For
a patch in a
$70.
way for in $70. They are literally combating inflation on one thing, so I understand that part. I don't understand like if they find it's all subjective. If they feel as if they put enough effort into this game to create and resell for like a $70 product, all it is my decision now to determine whether or not I feel like that I'm comfortable with that price. But inflation and all that stuff, um, I get bothered by it because they can eat that price. They don't have to put that on us. This right here is them saying that they feel like they created a product now that's worth this amount of money. I can always say that's not true and not buy, right? But with that,
Yeah.
if I'm going to play for this, I have to, play your game and eat your costs because you don't want to. So that's why I'm like more mad about that than this, because I don't really like I don't care because I'm not gonna play it. All I can say is that I don't find you deserving of that money. I don't care that the game. I don't think the game is tired. I definitely think it's been ran in the mud
Nah,
way too many
that
times.
just tired.
I guess you're right in that sense. It's tired, but I don't know. I guess I just don't hold it that I don't think it's that big of a deal because I guess at that end of the day I can just say nope. Which I mean that already, but you just it's still like they really think they can get
But
away with doing this again and again.
but you would say the same thing. But you would have an issue with it when Nintendo does it. And I would say it's wrong when Nintendo does it. It's wrong when Sony does it, where they re-release the same game or even a game that they're charging top dollar for that does not deserve top dollar for what you did for this remaster.
Yeah, I
Charge them more for the original
wholeheartedly
price.
say it for Nintendo though because Nintendo is the king of it. Like they started it. Obviously, they're the ones that this is the reason why I think they can get away with it. Because Nintendo started it. I feel like I have to be more critical on the originator than the people that's copycatting. Like they are literally the originator of doing that. and they're so good at it that you don't even.
I would say
You can't.
Last of Us is the originator of it because
No, no, no,
Last
no,
of Us
no, no, no,
Remaster,
no,
all
no,
they did
no.
was bump it up to 1080p.
Josh, remember when the Nintendo 64 came out, and then it went to the GameCube. Wasn't it a lot of? No, it wasn't the GameCube. It was the GameCube going to the Wii. Didn't they do a lot of remakes from the GameCube to the Wii?
I would personally say no, because the franchises I remember all had new entries, whereas like, it's a new Mario Kart, new Smash, new Zelda. All those games had like new versions on the Wii. So I don't remember if they did a lot of ports.
I think that. Oh my bad.
No, I mean, you can go ahead. I was just saying, from what I remember of the Wii, all those games were new that came out.
I think most of the ports I remember Nintendo having, but it would be like, I think it could really fly under people's nose, at least my nose, is when they took a lot of the NES and SNES games and put them on Game Boy Advance. Like, I didn't realize a lot of those games were games that had previously came out that was on the Nintendo or Super Nintendo or whatever.
NES and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so,
I mean,
but to be fair, they made
fine.
them games a little bit better, I don't know how much NES or SNES games costed from jump. I know Game Boy Advance games are usually like $30.
They were expensive. They were selling cheap games for a very high cost because it was portable. But that's fine because they're providing a new service to that game. Even though that is exactly what I'm talking about, I won't even knock them for it because they are at least providing you the option to move with it. Like, that is the portability. That is the cost of being portable. Like, you can still play those games on that. They give you the option. But there were plenty of, and I don't think I'm going crazy here, that they have remastered versions of, or HD versions of games that came out on the GameCube.
Yeah, they had Zelda and stuff.
That would have had to been.
But they gave you like the Wind Waker.
Like, when
Swords,
was the Wii U? When did the HD start? Wii U or Wii?
Wii U.
So HD came out with the Wii U. And that was 2013, right? When did the Wii U come out?
End of 2012.
The end of 2012. That is when they started announcing a ton of Wii games that were reused that was HD.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that game came out in 2013. The Last of Us.
Number one, I'm not denying that Nintendo doesn't sell remakes for premium. That's
not remakes, remasters, HD versions
for premium. The thing is that I think that Nintendo does that, but that time period isn't correct for me because Nintendo didn't really start remaking those games until after those remakes started being popular on the other systems, like Last of Us remaster, and then all the other remasters in that generation started becoming popular, and Nintendo started to copy it. Whereas like it's all we did is bump up the resolution. Like, I'm not saying that Nintendo doesn't do those games, but it's wrong when Nintendo does it, and it's wrong when Sony does it, and it's wrong when Microsoft does it.
Absolutely.
But nowadays, Nintendo is doing it and Sony is doing it, and they need to stop.
Absolutely. Like, I like Microsoft for that reason alone. It's literally they don't charge you like the FPS boost and stuff like that. Stuff that should be already, like, if you're gonna make a better cut of the game, like, you don't, like, they're aligning themselves with the PC. Like, when you just upgrade your system, everything else come with it. You don't have to deal with the tomfoolery of saying, oh, no, we're going to charge you. Like, the reason why Bloodborne doesn't look good on the PlayStation 5, because they're going to charge you at some point for it to make it look good. Like, that is their only reason. Like, there is no other reason for that game to not have been updated. It's a very popular game with a lot of things that people are going for it, that people love about it, and they won't change it to 60 FPS. They won't do anything to go back to it to actually update it because they're saying the code was trash or whatever. I don't care. I know that game deserves better than what is being done, and when it does come out and they do the Bloodborne remake, people are going to buy it like hotcakes. They know that they can resell it. So when I look at Microsoft and I see that they're doing that, and I see what they're doing on their end, and I see that they're actually doing, consumer, the righteous thing for the consumer, I'm always going to applaud it. I have digressed a little, Josh, about Nintendo and their trash ability to throw out a remaster. I haven't talked about Nintendo in quite a bit because I know what they gonna do, and I don't buy their games because of simple reasons that I already either played it or I know what it's about. Like last time we talked about Splatoon, I ain't bring out nothing about the remasters. I mean, I just have to get used to this is what their tactic is because they don't care. Like, and I don't care now to say that they justify the price at all. So regardless of what they do, I'm never going to buy a game that's been remade or in a way it feels like it's reused assets. Just how we talk about Ubisoft. Ubisoft uses reused assets all the time. And I'm just like, if it's not unique enough, you don't deserve my money. So same thing with the premise when it comes to these other people is like, I agree what you're saying, but I don't think I'm being overly harsh on Nintendo. I think it's equivalent to what they do. Obviously, Sony and Nintendo are in cahoots. They both do the same thing. But I think
I mean, they used to be part of the same company, didn't they?
I don't know.
Like
They
split from or
had
something
a
like that.
project together, and then Sony split off.
I did not know that. So,
But yeah, I understand. I'm just saying, like, I think we forget how many HD remasters were on PS3. There were hundreds of them, and even if Nintendo did it, they did not have 100 games coming out on the Wii U because it wasn't enough games.
Well, you live and learn. We all know how we feel about these games, and we all know what's the smart decision on most of this stuff. So, I guess to the viewer, stop buying remasters, stop buying terrible remakes like Saints Row. You don't have to spend your money on garbage because you used to love the game. You can always. I mean, I'm not advocating emulation, but if you own the games already and you can emulate, there's nothing wrong with emulation. If you prefer to play those older games and you can get those games on on your computer in order for you to kind of repurpose them for, because there is such thing as deterioration and physical games becoming obsolete and not being able the ability to play them anymore. So if you have games like that and these emulators can even increase the performance that it had before. So there's always that stuff there. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason why you don't really see much emulation of Xbox because why would you waste the resources? It's already there. Like you're going to see the resources go to the games that you can't find or the people that are advocating for mediocre remakes. Like that's what you're going to see. There's mostly a lot of that. You're going to be like, well, there's not a real lot of support for the Xbox. Well, obviously, what's the point of doing that? If you buy an Xbox, you're probably going to have access to most of your console generation, like the ones that are important at least. So advocate for things that you actually want to see in your favorite company and don't just pretend like they're the best. That's all I got on that.